Catherine.
So. I tend to spell your name incorrectly too.
Yes,
I spell it with a K.
there's so many ways to spell Catherine.
Yeah, it's great.
All right.
That's again.
Good morning.
Morning.
How's everybody today?
Great.
Awake, barely.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Let's begin. Okay. I think what we're going to do, okay, I don't know whether we have anybody here from outside, but I think we're going to begin.
You have Sandra.
Or to people who are here remotely. Okay. Does anybody who's coming in by Zoom have any comments or have any comments about community preservation? This is the good time to talk about it. Sandra, you there?
You're on mute.
Yeah, no, I don't have anything to say. I'm just in to listen.
Okay.
That's all.
No problem. I just want to make sure everybody. Okay. So let's begin with the minutes. Everybody's had a chance to take a look at the minutes from last month.
I make the motion, we accept the minutes as presented.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Yes.
Let's go into the financial report. I'm having a little difficulty reading from the
Yep.
sheet, okay? So let me just sort of take my glasses off and get a little closer here. Okay? This past month, okay, the new fund that came into CPF is $69,262. We had a starting balance in the Chase account of $1,628,868.86. We had an interest on that account of $2,958.81. The expenses for this month, okay, are $57,119. The payroll expenses were for the CPF and WQI was $2,632.30.
That's for 1 month?
1 month, yes. Okay, well, that's between WQIP and CPF. Okay, if you look down, if you want to look at the payroll, you go down to where the WQIP expenses are located, you'll see that WQIP was $1,768. Of that was their payroll, so it's not fully CPF. So I guess about $900 goes to us. Okay. Okay, so the closing balance was $1,641,000. The operating class account had an opening balance of $11,392,545. The interest in that account was $51,121.27.
I love that.
Unbelievable. Okay, so we had a closing balance on that. The working class account is $11,443,666. So the cash balance our cash balance in CPF accounts at this time is $13,085,005. Now, out of that comes the sorry, I didn't do this month. Okay, I don't know, Catherine, I don't have what the 20%. I don't know what. All right. Anyhow, let's go down to the second space here, which is the overall tally, so to year to date, okay, with preservation funds, it's taken in $1,656,109. And if we go down to WQIP, year to date for WQIP is $331,225. So what we really need to do is to subtract we need to subtract 388.
No, 331. I think it's 331.
No, we're subtracting, no, we have to subtract the 3,888,672 from the
Oh,
13,000.
sorry.
Which,
The 13,000,
That,
from our 13
I
million?
think so.
From 13 million?
No, the 3.8.
the 3,886,673 has to be subtracted from the 13 million.
I think actually it's the bottom number, Gordon, the blue one, because you have to take the expenses out of it. Theoretically,
Sorry, you're correct, right?
You take it from the 13?
yep.
So it's 31.
So it's roughly $10 million.
$10 million, correct.
However, the ubiquitous question is, we have commitments against that 10 million. So there's a significant amount of money
Yes,
already committed.
correct.
Is it $4 million?
It is
Ish.
close to 5, probably close to 5,
Okay,
okay?
so then we have 10, then we have 5.
Correct. All right, I want to just take a look at, we don't have this.
887.
All right, I don't have it. Okay, I just wanted to break out this, I didn't spend time with this today. The
Did I?
51,000,
No.
57,000. There were legal fees. It were approximately 40 some odd $1,000.
Who's?
From Gail?
No, not from Gail. County legal fees.
Oh,
So we split the legal
Yep.
fees with them, and then we have our own legal fees.
So our share is 40,000?
Our share was closer to 29 plus 16. 29 plus 16 is, yeah, about 45,000 for legal fees. That was splitting it with the county. Because it wasn't just legal fees, it was the environmental.
surveys, all of it.
Well, the surveys we paid for, it was all the other expenses, we did the environmental, the title,
Right.
so I don't have that. Next month, I'll.
Closing costs.
I'll put it out here, okay?
Closing costs, you need those.
So there you have it, guys.
Okay.
One more month to come though, right?
Beg pardon?
No, this is only October.
Oh, so this is the money from last month, I guess.
October, yeah.
It's not even.
It's November.
It may-
It's gonna be from September,
September, we received it in October.
Or 30 days.
So we still have
3 months.
October, November, December to come.
Yeah, 3
We
months.
won't see till February.
And if it's looking like it looks, this past month, it was 69,000. It might fall off, okay? But anyhow, you got an idea of what, I'm thinking it should come in, I'm hoping it will come in to 2.5 million, that's what I'm
At the end.
thinking of. Okay, let's go through, actually, before we begin, before we get into the rest of the agenda, we did in fact close on the Causeway property on the 8th. So it was, okay. Kathy was with us, it went pretty, anything, Kathy, you want to talk about in terms from that meeting?
It went very smoothly. The purchasers probably wanted more money. That was-
Sellers.
The sellers, I meant.
Apparently, the assessment was
.6,
0.6,
.6.
okay, and it was a $1 million transaction, 1,000,001 transaction. So anyhow, now we have to develop, we still have some plans that we got to develop, but this is one of them. A name for the property we have to develop, okay, and a stewardship plan. And I think we should, we have, when we didn't, on a lot of the properties, we didn't put concrete monuments in. We did on some and didn't do them on others. I think that we should probably have concrete monuments put in.
I thought we decided instead of concrete monuments, we were going to do cement-filled PVC pipes so that you can actually see them when everything grows over.
Well, yes, I think we can do that. And what we've experienced, okay, is sometimes people.
You want to find them or you don't want to find them? Well, not if they're concrete filled.
No, I think the pipe, like up by the roads, okay, like where you're fronting on the road, I think a regular monument.
Yes, okay.
We don't want to see pipes sticking up, but I think when you have the other corners that are buried in the back, it would be a good idea.
Right.
To have them. That's what we need to do. I don't think there's much more to talk about that property other than now it's a time that we should just think about, I don't think we need any paths. We don't need it. It's really it's a natural state.
Right.
Okay. I mean, there's an area there, like there was a fire road there at something, and you are aware that whole Ram Island Causeway was raised. That's not natural. Okay. So anyhow, that was good news.
My suggestion is that if we're thinking about a name, something ought to be like Cockles Harbor, or Nature Preserve, or.
Didn't we say Cedars?
Yeah, that's when Ed Schillingberg was, it goes back to when Ed was on the board. That's how long that one is, okay?
Right.
The thought was to use cedars because there's a lot of cedars in it. Okay, but I mean, I don't know.
What did you want, Cockles?
Yeah, something to do with Cockles Harbor.
Prickly Pear Preserve.
There you go. There are prickly pears in there.
It's like a dish in a jar.
But I mean, there's no need to have, it's just going to be, we're going to put it on the maps, but I don't think there's a need to have anything there at all.
You're not gonna
People want to walk it.
You're not going to put the usual sign?
I think we could put a usual sign there. There's no reason not to put a sign there, okay?
I hate those signs.
The county's going to want to have a sign there to identify the property.
Change the signs to be more, I mean, it's a plastic sign. Can we do something more rustic? Or is that required, those signs?
Piece of driftwood.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Kathy, I wish you had been here when back in 2017, when we had this whole battle of putting signs on.
At all.
Or even having them open, okay? But I think we should stay with the uniform sign that we have. I think one of the things that we had talked about was having a map someplace either in the back of it or in the front of it so that people got an idea of where the boundaries are. But this one will also have a QR code and I think we have a lot of updating to do with it. But anyhow, that's the story, so it's done, okay?
I think it'd be fun to, a lot of interesting species of plants growing in there. It'd be fun to do a survey and then, be able to list them all. I mean, not on the thing.
That's a fun project for you, Tim.
It would be.
You don't have anything to do, do you?
I don't.
What's the possibility of interns? I mean, I know years ago, Cronin had interns working on the septic issue. Why couldn't we get a summer intern from some ecology college or whatever you want to call it?
That's true.
The kids have to do community
John
service.
Cronin did that.
Yeah. I mean, it's got to be a great opportunity.
That'd be a fun idea.
I took, asked them, probably not this year, but
An intern,
Gordon will bring their RV home and they can sleep in the RV in his front yard.
they haven't passed the law yet, so we have to wait. Catherine, is that what is that back that I'm looking at?
The stained glass?
Yeah,
it's been there a while.
Been there.
Forever.
From St. Gabriel's.
From St. Gabe's.
okay.
Forever.
Has it always
It's a-
been there?
Yes.
I mean, since I started in the.
It's waking up, okay.
It's a relic. It's a relic.
All right, so,
I like that idea too.
Yeah. There's just lots of things we can have them work on. QR codes,
well, the intern, we have to identify them, just because they're an intern doesn't know, means update the information
We need-
that's on the website.
I mean, I'm thinking of a college level student who
Yes.
has,
Yes, who's into that, going into that,
yes, who actually would know what they're looking at, or at least knows how to use a plan identifier.
I could just stay home and eat puppets all day.
all right, let's continue. Why don't you pick up, Tim, with the West Neck Preserve, what we've done so far, over there, okay?
Very dramatic. Catherine, did you get the two? Two brothers came, that's Matt and Lindsay, on tilling. So first he tilled everything, and then his brother Mike had the river shank, which I don't have a picture of, but it was a big thing in the back which had big, almost like huge knives that went into the soil.
Is that it there?
No, that's actually the plow.
Oh,
Anyway, and then they pulled out rocks and tree stumps and all that sort of stuff.
Oh, wow.
It was on the side of the road. And then if we go back to the plow, the other picture, then Mike went through the whole property with the plow, which went way down and flipped what was on the bottom on top and took the top and put it on the bottom. And then we go back to the other picture. And then Matt went over the whole property with the tilling it to make it a little more even. So it took 4 different steps, as I explained beforehand. And it took them actually to about 3:30. They started at 9, they were done around
Wow.
3:30 or 4. And they did a really great job, and they're wonderful to work with. And then last week, after consulting with Ariel Gardner at Sylvester Manor about, there's a whole thing about broadcasting the seed. Do we need to have something come in and push it into the soil? Probably ideally, yes, but she said you can just go out and broadcast it on the surface. So I got some seed of the Cauliflower Association. And
we're gonna have cauliflower?
they do. Interesting place.
What are you gonna seed it?
Huh?
What's it going to be seeded with?
It's already seeded with winter rye.
Right.
So I did it last week because Ariel said do it 1 or 2 days before the rain, which is supposed to come on Thursday, which did not quite come as promised. Hopefully Friday will rain again, and hopefully nothing will eat the seed before then. And that's pretty much it. So what Matt, who's on the machinery there, suggested they're gonna come back and till again next spring/early summer. But he actually would like to come back and just do another deep plow.
Really?
Yeah, because then any mugwort that's left will be exposed to the heat and will die much more easily.
When would that,
What would that be?
yeah,
Probably June. The turtles will be long out.
we
And
can
then
see,
do more tilling and then maybe one more tilling, but it'll involve less equipment, so they're not gonna be bringing all this equipment over. And I did try to get a price, but he has not come forward with the price yet, so it'll be less than what we paid this last time.
how much was this?
And how much was that? That was 5,000,
That's not
I
bad.
think. But I saved us $2,800 by doing by seeding it myself.
The sower.
You did it yourself?
Did it myself.
How do you, was that,
It was actually a lot of fun. I felt like I was in a Malay painting. But they were gonna charge $2,800 to do that.
Wow. You
nice.
should call people, Tim. You don't have to do it yourself.
Anyway, so
I'm available.
you're available? Yeah, no, now that I know how to do it, so you're not wasting a ton of seed.
My brother had one of these things.
Ariel lent me one, but actually, when I tried it, it kept it too close to me. I really wanted to like,
I was thinking, you know, when you have those, I have one of those things, you're supposed to put lime in it, or grass seed. That spreads it.
yes, she had a couple of pieces of equipment, but I just in the end discovered that having a bucket in my hand and just, I was able to,
Okay,
big swath.
I have to do it again. I have my little thing.
Yeah, well, hopefully not. Hopefully by July,
I'm
August,
excited because, you know, I go by there all the time, so.
but it looks a lot better. So the only thing I did talk to Gordon about when we were there was I would like to fix up the parking lot. The parking lot looks sort of like an abandoned industrial site right now. Gordon is very quiet on this subject.
No, I think you're right. When
Might have to be bigger.
the parking areas are, on all of them, are on the lean side.
Yeah, but this one's particularly because it just has
Open space, okay, right. What would you suggest?
The plants,
Actually, I want to talk to Rusty first because there are 3 entrances coming from the parking lot. One going sort of into the middle, one going this way and one going this way. So I'm not quite sure how much fencing it really needs.
how about like bushes? Bushes.
Certainly on the roadside, we should put something there.
Like, so they see this is, because they're going to go further in.
No, I know, there needs to be something. It's just a question of,
Tim, look at the property that the county has over in Southold. You know,
yes,
they used like a 6x6 post.
yes.
A post, and then it was just a really shallow, this way the cars don't roam and.
And it's not the typical,
Correct.
Rail.
Split,
what's the standard fencing at rail?
Rail.
Yeah, split rail. This is very elegant.
Yes,
I would love to use that.
yeah. Oh,
I know we'll cost.
And it's low, but people can see it.
It's low, exactly.
but it defines the parking area so people don't wander
Yes,
someplace.
that to me is the ideal,
Okay,
yes,
and I
so let's
said,
take a look at it. Let's do that.
yeah.
And
So let me, what I'll
we can
do
collect,
is-
if we can collect 50,000 a month in interest, you know,
maybe the highway department
pays
could
for a lot
do,
of stuff.
maybe the highway department could do that? Doesn't seem to take much talent.
They like doing the split, everybody likes doing the split rail fence, but this is,
The little one
Yeah,
is,
but this is a long-lasting fence.
Yeah, no.
They have, that'll be a 30-year fence.
yes,
it's plastic?
No, no, no.
This rail that we're talking about, when you come out of Greenport, when you get past, it's almost directly, just before you get to North Fork Welding on the left, okay?
Before you go up the hill, the bridge to go.
Oh,
On the
yeah,
right-hand side.
right inside.
And they use that standard. You know, I can get that design from Suffolk County.
You can?
Yeah.
Okay, because Robin took a picture of it, actually.
Like they, since they do it, I can get the specs on it.
Okay.
Because I'm sure it may be a 6-foot post, meaning 3 foot down, maybe, I don't even think it's 3 foot tall. I mean, I think it's
It's fairly low.
very low.
It's nice.
Right.
Very elegant looking.
Good.
Anyway, I think that would be nice. And then it'd be nice to cover the crushed asphalt with something.
First asphalt, I'm not looking for the asphalt. I'll tell you what I'm looking for. I think what we are doing
I
over,
want to cover it with something. I don't want to, I think it
I had that in my driveway.
crushed asphalt.
No, it was asphalt, but somehow they combined it with, not pebbles, you know what I mean?
Crushed pebble.
Bluestone?
crushed stone.
Crushed stone,
Yeah, I mean,
but it went away eventually.
anyway, we can think about this, but I just want to consult with Rusty just to be sure that before we do all this, that unless he has like a particular,
So
not in terms of design, but just,
what nobody is talking about, you're not talking about is the prep before these guys came in. The whole thing with the turtles, that we walked the property early, walked the
Yes.
property late.
yes,
did our due diligence to make sure there were no turtles there.
Yes.
Okay? So everybody's concerned about it. but I
Yes.
think we did our.
Get the Bob Whites.
Did you,
Not a single turtle was,
did you see any Bob Whites?
No, haven't seen any.
I don't know where they go.
I don't know either. But no, I didn't see, no, and Gordon is correct, the night before, the late afternoon before, we walked the whole property. Before they started doing stuff, I walked the whole property. I watched every time they were digging up everything to make sure nothing had been dug up. So absolutely nothing.
Do they fly, Bob Whites?
Yeah, they do.
They do.
and the only other thing that we want to do there is early on is do something for the accessibility.
Yes,
That's the other piece that we really, I think it's a small enough area, that little loop and come back, and that would be setting the tone. And so we would not be planting anything if they turn it over again in the spring. What would we be planting? Rye again? Grass?
no, I think, according to Rusty, by the time you're sort of done all this next steps, next summer, it'll be ready to actually start planting a meadow.
Howard has a question.
Howard?
Yes, is there a stewardship plan for this plot, this area?
I think I gave you one.
We have a stewardship plan for it, okay? But we didn't, I shouldn't say we didn't do that. When we hired Nelson Pope, okay, as a consultant, that is not reading in the stewardship plan because we never got that far with it. I mean, there is a plan from Nelson Pope that's readily available.
But nothing from the CPF?
No, we have a CPF stewardship plan, but when we acquired the property, okay, it was sort of generic in what we were doing with it. And then the decision was, rather than us trying to do this, to hire someone on outside that had the expertise. And it would be a multi-year plan. That plan is available. We have that plan.
Yes.
And that certainly, we could include that on the QR code as well.
Yes.
Okay, so we can share that obviously with you, that's open information.
I think it's on the website.
I thought it was on the website.
It's on, Howard.
Yes.
Have you seen the plan for the property?
No, I've gone past the
Okay.
property many times, but I haven't actually seen the plan. I'll look on the website if it's on there, for sure.
So go on the town website, go on the CPF page,
Right.
and you'll see the most recent draft for the plan, for the Nelson Pope Voorhees plan.
All right, I'll take a look at it. Thank you.
Why don't we
It's
just,
much more technical, Howard, than a typical stewardship plan, because we're targeting specific areas for specific, I don't want to use the word development because that's not the right word, rehabilitation.
Yeah,
revegetation?
revegetation.
That's good.
Right. So it's a very different method than we've used in the past where we're creating walking paths and things like that.
And this is only phase one that we're dealing with.
Yes.
Okay, so we're only dealing with this one section. Obviously, the property is more intense. I really would like, I think Howard should get to see this, okay? And I thought for some reason or other, we had him in the loop with this, but I guess we didn't for some reason.
Howard, we can meet there if you want.
Yeah, okay, Tim, you can give me a call. I'm usually available.
Yeah, we can meet, not this coming week, but maybe the week after.
Yeah. But I also think there should be something written by the CPF as a standard stewardship plan.
Well, we do have a stewardship plan, which should be posted, because it should be posted and part of that QR code. Okay, but we don't have, but we never really, because when we bought the property, it's now, we're only starting on this now, so it's not included in the stewardship plan now. We obviously probably should revise it and include it in there, that we have an
multi-year.
outside consultant, and it's a multi-year project, and this is really the plans that should be done. So let's do that. Let's revise the stewardship plan.
Thank you.
And then this winter, either the town or Dan Clark has offered to do this, is to cut down all the small black locusts that are in the area where all the grasses are growing now.
Right.
We'll get rid of those, and we just have to keep cutting those down. And then we are not going to cut back any of those grasses that are growing.
Aren't they invasive?
No.
No. The grasses actually are really there's a native grass that's growing in there that's really nice.
Oh.
And so we want to encourage more of that and let it go to seed and spread the seed and get more of that. And then I've been talking to Rusty about spot removing. In that grassy area, there's some porcelain berry and a few other things in there we don't want. And we're gonna figure out a plan to go in there and remove that stuff without disturbing all of it. So in other words, it's better to have whoever goes in there, the town or Dan, to cut back the black locusts versus coming in with a big machine and digging them out, and then it just disrupts the whole area.
This area that we're doing right now, okay, since it was mugwort that was there to begin with, we didn't have really an issue with turtles and that because it was so dense.
Yes, nothing,
Right, but now that we're tilling it and we're getting rid of the mudworts, okay, now this is gonna be, they're going into hibernation now.
yes.
So it's likely that we're liable to have
Well,
turtles there over the winter.
it's a possibility. However, I did talk at length with Karen, I'm just like,
Over at the.
Tessa.
Yeah,
at the Turtle Rescue of the Hamptons, and she said turtles really don't like nesting in an open area like that. They really prefer woodland, where you have logs, you have more overhead vegetation. That's really their preferred habitat for hibernating.
I guess the point I'm making is that we should make sure that we're not gonna, since we're getting rid of the mugworts, which really keep them at bay.
Yes.
Once comes June, okay, after we walk the property again to make sure.
Yeah, but
no
by-
habitat, we gotta make sure that this is, because then that's gonna be your home. They could be home there.
Absolutely,
Right.
absolutely, and we'll just, but the good thing is by end of May or mid-June, they're usually out and about, so they won't be in the ground. The more likely animal to be there is a groundhog.
You can mow those over. You can mow those over.
Okay, anything else that we need?
Nope, that's it.
So we have to include that in the stewardship plan. Well, we'll take a look at the stewardship plan and include that in there.
I'll make arrangements.
Let's go back to the white preserve now. The tree, I suggest everyone take a ride there, take a look at it, okay? Because now, we have the gravel that's there. We have to do some masonry work around some drainage areas where they have drainage collection there that the soil was going into. They did plantings, okay? I mean, a lot of plantings.
Yeah.
Okay, because we're trying to create a blind. Apparently, part of the planning board was that they create a blind for the next door neighbors there. Okay, so they did all of that. Our parking area is done. Okay, we planted trees, what do they call them? Green giants?
They're green giant, they're
So, Juga?
arborvitae evergreens,
Right. They're going to match the trees that are coming in.
yes.
So we're not changing the model. It's just around the parking area. They grow, right now, they're probably, what would you say, they're 4 feet?
Yeah, but 4 to 5 feet.
And
Get
they will.
big fast.
Huh?
They get big
They
fast.
get big
Yes.
fast.
Right. So I mean, it really will create a thing. And actually, since we have the trees in, I think what we should do is get, let's get our coating on top of that area with the pea gravel.
Mhm.
We'll go ahead with that.
Yes,
Because there's no more heavy equipment going in
No.
there. And we removed some of the evasives that were in the surrounding area there. What was that again called?
Datura,
Altura.
Altura,
Never heard of
Is it the
that.
one that's growing right by the parking area?
Yes,
With
Yeah.
the spikes,
with
the,
the
Yes.
spiky seed
those are
pods.
awful, yeah.
It's poisonous. Beautiful flowers, though.
Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah, just don't mix it up with
they
your.
pulled it, we had them pull them out, okay? Will they come back?
Probably.
So we just have to keep pulling it out.
Well, I think if I understand correctly, that's gonna be lawn, so it's gonna be mowed.
Right.
So if you're mowing it, they
Not gonna come up.
won't have it.
Who's been mowing the trails back there?
Okay, that's good. That's,
Jason,
Jason, yes,
Guy
Jason,
named
Jason has a
Jason.
contract with the White family
Okay.
they have to maintain that main path.
Yeah, that must have been him. I checked it out last week.
So
And somebody was mowing.
they are on retainer during the summer to mow once a month, I believe it is, and he maintains their whole property. So he goes all the way into the cul-de-sac where our section comes in. What I want to do is I would like to make an arrangement with him, since when he comes in, okay, during the summer months, that it would, since he's there and he has the equipment, why not do the path that goes through the 4, 5, and 6.
That makes sense.
This way it's wide and it's nice. Have you walked it? Okay, so it's really, you don't have to worry about ticks there, do you?
No, I got ticks on me.
Do you?
My dogs did, yeah. They've only gotten worse since we got rid of the 4 posters. Definitely noticed a difference, without a doubt. So I would spray if you're planning on going for a walk.
Is there hunting in there or not?
There's hunting in there.
So I was thinking of going there yesterday and I said, well, maybe not, so.
I thought they weren't gonna have hunting.
I don't think so.
we should discuss that.
Yes.
Isn't it in the deed? Like, there's no hunting?
No, the hunting, there's hunting on all of the preserve, not all of them, but that goes through, the hunting program is from Bo Payne. Okay, this property is, they have hunted the property. We'll discuss this. Let me get further into it.
Okay.
Let's just table that at this time, okay? And the only other thing is we want to have a defined, by next meeting, I will have a defined map that will show, we want to go to the water someplace on that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's one path that's already existing there, and that Tim and I walked it out. So we're going to make sure that's maintained so people are not all over the place, okay? What else with that?
To the water, meaning,
The point,
yeah, but
4, 5, and
all,
6, basically, they're just going to cut a path, not cut a path, there's a path already existing.
yes.
That goes on lot 5.
Is that where those Adirondack chairs were?
No, that's on 8 and
8.
9. Okay, and
Yeah, I mean, we just thought little blue arrows. Just to keep people so they know, because there is no real path. It just, once you start getting the water, there's a lot of low bush blueberry and a lot of huckleberry, a lot of it. And it'd be really, really great if people did not go tramping through there on it.
Right.
So just to keep people sort of on a
Can we order some new blazes?
lasis, that's the word I'm looking
do what?
Blazes? Do you have trail markers?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
I think we did them in green, that's what
That's what we have. Yep.
for.
you have none.
What did he?
I have like a handful. of
Blazes.
What's that?
I need more, but, yeah.
Trail markers.
And yeah, I don't know if anybody's interested, but I still love the idea of having something going across the creek, a little flat bridge or something.
Yeah, I'm thinking of
Yeah,
a rope bridge.
yeah, something like that, whatever. Yeah, something simple. Yeah.
Like Indiana
There you go,
Jones.
yeah.
How about it's just a rope swing,
Okay, and the other,
or they're only in traverse.
by our December meeting, okay, we should also talk about lots 8 and 9. So there is an entrance on both sides. There's an entrance off of Menantic, and then there's an entrance off of Simpson. There's no designated parking, it'll be on the apron. But the paths are, what they mowed is, I think, 10 feet. because we know it closes in
Very quickly.
very quickly. So those have to be, and basically, we're fortunate that the inside of those properties are really in good shape. We did meet with a homeowner next to Simpson. You were with me?
Yes, I was.
Okay, so
The Teresa?
you want April, and I think her husband was Stephen, okay?
Yes, we met with a homeowner who has a house right next door to the path that goes in there. And they were just not, I guess, concerned. They were just wanted clarity.
They wanted to make sure they weren't doing anything and cutting anything down on preserved land,
Yes,
because there are trees that are invasives that are pulling on one of their wonderful new trees there.
yes.
So we obviously, the property was surveyed, but we do need to put the monuments in, so.
Yeah,
those
so it was
are-
unclear where their properties were. So Gordon suggested a monument.
And since Howard is here, oh, Howard's got his hand raised again. Howard?
Yes, I was just wondering, are we going to be able to see the stewardship plan this next spring, I guess, probably be ready?
Yeah, well,
For which
yes,
property?
we're talking about the white.
Yeah.
Like,
Right, okay, yes. I think I gave you a copy of a draft that we had. Okay, and we still have to talk about the signage, all the other, where this, we got to include everything that's in there now.
The Doherty's, is it gonna be a Doherty path there? Aren't we gonna name one after?
We're going to name a path
for Ed?
on the path from the parking area into 4, 5, and 6 was going to be named George's Path
Oh, okay.
in honor of George White. Okay, and but we need to get that done. I mean, we're far along. We're far along now.
Good.
Okay, we can get that done. Sorry?
excuse me, but as far as having a bridge or something across that creek, I don't know if you've walked it lately, but during last week and the week before the extreme high tides we had, it's the wetlands are getting larger. Unfortunately, the island is getting less because the wetlands are increasing around the island. So I would think twice about having a bridge across. I mean, it'd be very handy, but I'm a little questionable, but we can look into that and what type of bridge.
Yeah, Howard, that's going to be another whole DEC, and that gets to be very complicated. So, I mean, I think it's something that it would have been nice if we had lot 7. Okay, this way we could have continuously walked, but right now, the way to get from one side to the other is going out to the street and taking the walk.
Thank you.
This preserve here as well, again, we really should revisit again the volunteer stewardship plans that we have. I think this would be a great parcel to have. I mean, Howard lives right there in the neighborhood, so we couldn't find a better person to keep us abreast of what's going on there. Right, and we already have that. That's an approved program that we have with the town.
Right.
So that's what we should do. Okay. We're done with that. Okay. I have WQIP. Catherine, we were just talking about before you and I had a conversation over the beginning of the year, and perhaps maybe you think before December. Oh, you're not going to be here in December. Okay, Catherine will not be at our next meeting. She's having some surgery done today, but I'm hoping that by January 1, we should be on QuickBooks so that when we have our meetings and we're asking, where's the $52,000, that we should be able to just pull it up and see where every dollar is spent. Okay, but we've been talking this way for how long?
6 months at least.
6 months? Okay, anyhow, WQIP, anything you?
Nothing.
Nothing, okay. Okay. And now we have the dates. Next year.
Did you want to change the time?
No,
Okay. Okay.
Anybody want to change the time?
no.
We had, at our last meeting, people were concerned about meeting so early in the day. Okay, and it is a good time to discuss it. I think 8:30 in the morning to me is a good, I have no,
It works for us. I mean,
works for everybody here, Joe?
Oh, yeah.
Tim? Okay, so let's leave it that way.
Yeah, the alternative is doing it at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. When people are off work and they come.
Okay, why don't we just adopt this? The only thing that I'm going to make a suggestion is, so CPF, in order to have voting privileges or a quorum, since we're a regulation and we have something, we can't do like the other committees are doing it remotely, like WQIP.
also, same thing,
Yes,
They have the same thing.
same status.
Okay, so I guess there are other committees.
the Green Committee
Doesn't-
we can do it on Zoom now.
Okay.
Because we're spending
State.
money,
Okay.
Oh,
We're spending money, right.
or at least recommending a spending of money.
The February, the only thing I was thinking about, and I just throw this out, okay, is in the middle of the winter, in the February meeting. I was just thinking that perhaps we could skip a February meeting.
Hey,
okay.
Okay, and obviously if we have something that's urgent that's there, which we probably will, because when I'm going to have a brief executive meeting, okay, at the end of this, even though you don't have an agenda, but I'm thinking that maybe we should tentatively just, because it seems like everybody's, in our February meetings, people have been missing.
right.
Okay, so I think that unless we have something specific, okay, maybe we'll just we'll pass on February. Is that,
Sounds good to me.
Sure.
Tim?
Yeah, that's fine. I'll be going around the world
I'm fine.
Okay.
Great.
in my head.
Any old business, any new business?
Actually, I just wanted to add two things about West Neck. One is I do have these 100 oak seedlings, which I should get in the ground. Last week, Mishamik had a volunteers luncheon, which was really fun. But I sat next to Cody Marie Miller, who's the co-director. And she was in Florida with the Nature Conservancy overseeing the Disney Preserve there. But her expertise is invasive plants. So she's been learning obviously about invasive plants up here. But anyway, she suggested, we were talking about planting oak seedling because as they're losing their American beaches, they're not going to really do anything. And they're hoping that the oak trees will start to sort of self-plant themselves and start sort of filling in those gaps. But her suggestion was when we plant the oak seedlings, actually just put fencing around them, like whole clusters of fencing. Do it that way versus doing tubes. So I just thought I'd mention that in the event that we do decide to put in stakes.
These oak seedlings, okay, oh, they're really small.
They're really small. But she said they would be consumed instantly.
Yes, yeah, they're tender and
Yes.
Do smaller animals eat those as well?
Well, I guess the groundhog could eat them.
you can,
So how do you protect them even with what kind of fencing? I mean,
Well, at least it keeps the deer out. She was talking more about deer.
the cluster, but just, in other words, plant them in clusters.
Clusters, and then just put fencing around the clusters.
Well, you see that when you walk in Mishomi, they have areas that are fenced,
Yes, they do.
like a 6x6 or 12x12 or
Yes.
something.
So I just wanted to say that I thought it was kind of a good idea. And we could do it that way.
I mean, literally, those fences will be there for
They'll be there for quite a while.
years.
Yeah, they will. But, over time, we'll be planting shrubs and stuff,
Yeah,
so they're gonna become less.
it's just a comment.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. But, I mean, I could get tubes, but those are gonna be these big white tubes that are
Right.
also quite noticeable.
White tubes or fence tubes?
No, the ones I've seen at Mashamik had them, they're at this high for a while. And there were tubes, there were oak seedlings inside, and then nothing happened.
Well, don't they need sun and rain?
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess, I don't, yes, they get the nutrients at the ground level, I mean, the water. But then as soon as they poke through, whatever animals could eat them will eat them. So
Right,
I sort of like the fencing idea.
yep, me too.
Okay,
Just, how close are you? We're talking about like every 4 feet for the trees?
I don't know.
Or plant them and then transplant them once they grow?
I want to ask Rusty about that because first of all, I was going to plant them on the west neck side where there's a lot of goldenrod, but it's kind of, I have to go in there and really look and see what it's like. It's really dense. But then the other side is much clearer. It's all open now.
Right,
And certainly if I can get a couple more people to join me, they'll be more apt to go in there versus the goldenrod. So anyway, I'm going to talk to him this week and see what his suggestion is and how close they should be and all that stuff. You're going to lose half of them at least. So
why would you place them 4 feet apart or something like that? Why wouldn't you cluster them until you see what takes?
that's what I would do. I
This way, when they take, you can just move them around.
think so, although it's amazing, oak trees put down a taproot fairly quickly. It's always amazing to me. Anyway, I'll talk to the experts, get back to you.
Anything else, any old business, any new business? I guess, let's just open it up one more time to the public. Anyone have any comments you would like to make? Sandra, anything you want to talk about? Or Howard? Pam?
Go ahead, Pam.
Go ahead, Pam.
Good morning, everyone. Good
Good morning.
morning. I just love attending your meetings. I'm sorry I was late. I really learned so much about the natural environment of Shelter Island, so I really appreciate that. I just have a question for the board. Have you folks put in any feedback for the comprehensive plan? And have you looked at the data that's in the comprehensive plan update to make sure that it's accurate as far as the properties that are preserved on Shelter Island and what their status is, and just to make sure that the facts that are in this draft plan match what you have on your records?
I read it.
Nothing stuck out to me.
Pam, I think,
Kinda general.
we've really never had a actual sit down and gone over that chapter with anybody from CPAC, okay? But I think probably it's good that you're bringing it up because I think that responsibility really should rest with us in terms of what that section looks like. So we should look at that.
Good idea.
Thank you, Pam.
is that under 7 or 8?
Okay, thank you very much. I'm sorry?
I don't know what section that's in, but we'll take a look at it, Pam, and I'll
I don't
distribute
know.
it.
No, I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm
looking
not sure.
here.
The natural resources section, I think.
Yeah.
It's,
Oh, that's 7, yeah, 7, so
And I know
7
it's
and
under-
8.
I mean, I've looked at it, Pam, and nothing jumped out at me, but I'll look at it again. We'll all look at it again.
yeah, I thought it was important. I know that Nelson Pope and Voorhees had done a map or the other, maybe it was the other one, Larissa Brown had put a map and a list together. It was submitted to Suffolk County Planning Commission, and I for the meeting that they had on November 1st, and I wasn't really sure if it was accurate, so I just want to make sure that this plan is put together properly and everyone's looked at it with open eyes. So I appreciate it. Thanks very much.
Very good. Thank you, Pam.
Looks like chapter 8.
Yeah, looks like chapter
Should
8.
look at the comments on there too.
Okay. I have nothing else to add to this meeting today.
Good.
Okay, I'd like to adjourn to just briefly and to go into executive session to discuss properties that are currently under discussion for acquisition. And so let's get a motion to close this meeting.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second.